Alright, we back with another little breakdown. This introduction to the video is how I'm going to be making 10 to 20k a month trading prop firms. Um, Basically just showing you guys a recap of what I'm currently doing with my evals right now. Um, and then just breaking down my strategy. Of course, you guys seen it in one of my videos, but I did a live trading video and a backtesting session. April's been pretty smooth. Just still learning day by day with these futures markets. But getting into it, just I'm gonna be looking at allocating around like 3 to 5 different prop firms, um, and I'm gonna copy trade all of them. I'm only trading 25k accounts, so um, you can scale tremendously with them, and the upside is low. So your ROI is massive. When I say massive, it's extremely massive. So basically, then each prop uh, max payout is probably like what, $1,000, which is fine if you do the math and you got 5 accounts. Even if you have an 80% profit split, some firms give you 90, but even if you had an 80% profit split, um, and you get a $1,000 profit, you get $800. $800 times 5 account is 4 bands. So $4,000 with one firm, that's good money. You know what I'm saying? With the upside of probably you spending like $300 to $400 for these evals. Um, you know, just going for base hits though, instead of trying to go for home runs. Just go for base hits, which is basically scaling your trade, risking anywhere from point 50 to 1% per trade, which is $125 to 250. Because it's a 25k account. One thing that is bad with the strategy, or not even with the strategy, but with the firm, the drawdown ratio. So some firms might have either $1,000 drawdown limit with the $1,500 target, which isn't bad, but it's like a 1 or 1.5. So you want to be mindful what trades you take in, how selective you are with your risk, and be more discretionary with your bias, and then size heavier on the trades that that can benefit for you, and then profit from them. So but just to name the 5 firms I'm going to be trading with is Tradify, um, Alpha Futures, Lucid, My Funded Futures, and Funded Next. But so let me break it down even more, because right now, for me to go for a 10k profit target, I just need 3 firms. That's 10k a month. And the way I say that, right now I'm trading Alpha Futures, Lucid, and Tradify. Tradify, I want to do the daily payouts. So hypothetically speaking, I can request $500 times 5 accounts. That's 450 times 5. That's 2250 a week, hypothetically, or a day, depending on if I want to trade consistently daily. But weekly for 2250 is not bad. I'll take that. Just to get paid. We in the game to get paid, bro. And then the other 2 firms is Alpha Futures and Lucid. They both have a 90% profit split. So going for $1,000, that's $900. 900 times 5 is 4,500. 4,500 times two different firms, or two payouts, is $9,000 plus the 2 bands. With Tradify, that's 11 racks. So that's the 10k mark right there. For me to go 20, I would have to add my other 2 firms that I was talking about. But I'm gonna wait to get those. I just want to get these allocated first, lock in, and get these payouts started. But going a little breakdown on my April trading so far. So gonna pull up my copy trader. I use Trade Copia. I feel like it's way better than Trade Sinker, because Trade Sinker you have to um, find the instrument and make sure the instrument is aligned. So it's not bad. But for April, last week I had a great week, no losing trades. This week was pretty okay. Um, the only bad day I probably say I had was Friday. Um, my bias was correct. It's just I took a loss. So prices went a little deeper, and then I took a loss. But and then Wednesday, I took an early trade, and the bias was correct, but I took a loss. And then I took another trade, the same, going to the same direction, and it hit TP. But one thing I'm going to stop doing with evals is go and break even. So it's either TP or stop loss, or if I do go break even, I have to be significantly in profit on these evals, just evals, you know, because it's just an eval. You can reset it, you can buy it again. The upside is tremendous, so you can, you know, it's not it's minimal towards if I had a live account or a funded account, break even. You want to protect yourself at all times, but evals you can reset, you know, it's just evaluation. But basically I took a trade, went break even, and it came back, hit my break even, and ran. So, one thing I'm going to do differently is, uh, and I feel like that break even in my mind was an emotional break even, just because I took a loss prior and going break even too early. Um, because I took that loss, it was an emotional break even. So I wanted to, you know, protect myself from taking another loss, but ended up having a red day when that would have been a profit day. Um, so just breaking down what I have right now and my connections, or go to my what's the copy trade right now. So these are the accounts. Um, and it's crazy because I'm only taking my time with these. I got 4 accounts. I can buy another one. I will eventually, but I want to get these first funded. Work my way to get a payout, and then after that, get paid, allocate some more. Um, so only 25k accounts. So the upside is tremendous versus you going for 50k accounts, 100k accounts, 150k accounts. It's fine though. Trust me. Like, eventually I will get there. But right now, I'm just really focused on staying consistent and dialing these profits and create some money behind me. So I won't be having to spend too much out of pocket because the 50k accounts aren't bad, but they cost a little more. So if you want to get like 5 of those, it might run you like 400 to 500 bucks, which is not bad. But the upside is just the same thing. It's still tremendous. But I'm not trying to go for home runs right now. I'm trying to go for profit targets, base hits, and stay consistent so I can get paid. The goal is to get paid. That's what we traders for. But yeah, Friday was the worst day of the week, so still ended the week profitable. Yeah, so I can't complain. And one thing I'm liking about this, the way my data's looking, I'm inside that 60 to 70% win rate, which I'm looking for. Profit factor is 2.04, which is not bad. Uh, I'm not trading Mondays, as I told myself not to trade Mondays, even though I think the 13th and the 20th gave me opportunity. I just didn't take it. So I just watched the market run to where I wanted it to go, which I'm fine with. So it's all good. But let's break down these charts and show you guys what trade I took initially heading into the week. So since I don't trade Mondays, I just let this run. Seeing this gap fill, price obviously wanted to trade lower, film that gap, and then hit a target. But Tuesday, this is just a 1 hour outlook. So price is obviously bullish. We already at all-time highs on NQ and ES. So let's break it down and show you guys what I looked for inside these market conditions. You guys can see the 1 hour outlook and see what I was looking for. So drop down to the 1 minute. Oh, we actually drop down to the 5 minutes. Drop down to the 5 minutes just so I can give you guys a more of a idea what I was looking for. All right, so I'm gonna start with Tuesday. All right, so Tuesday. I don't have the replay tool. I should have paid for it, but it's fine. But looking for buys on Tuesday. So this level right here was a previous daily high level already, but since price already took it out, it started edging right here. So I just took my profit a little bit lower. I'll show you guys my me actually entering the trade and executing it too as well. So but yeah, just seeing how this deep false move on 6:30 open, prices came lower. Price came lower, right? So zoom back out, zoom back out, zoom back out. This was a 5 minute fair value gap that eventually turned into an IFVG when I seen this displacement right here. As soon as I seen this displacement, I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't think we're going to go lower right now. Which is why you see now that we had this sell off. But I wasn't looking for shorts heading into the marketplace. So oh yeah, so saw this 5 minute. And then seen the displacement from it. Seen this candlestick right here rejecting a little bit from it. This took an entry right here. I think I took put like 1 or 2 contracts on it, and looking for like probably like a $200 a day, 250 maybe. And yeah, just targeting the high, and eventually hit profit on that trade, which was pretty good. Only took one trade that day, so I wasn't too, stuck in my bias land. And yeah, I just been patient. I was waiting, so it took about like almost an hour to get to that selection and trade and price. Uh, which you guys can see right here. So we were stalling a little bit on this is the 1 hour time frame, and then price eventually ripped and then came back lower to take out this low right here. Since it took out this low, I didn't take no shorts. After I hit that target, I'm like, I'm done. I'm gonna go to the gym, work out, do what I gotta do, and just leave the markets alone. And then, skipping to the next day, Wednesday. Wednesday was a day where I took 2 trades. And the same bias, but I took a loss a little early. So I was already looking for buys, and the price, this shit ran like super crazy. So instead of me going for a 1-to-1, I could have banked on like a 1-to-5, 1-to-6, but I wasn't looking for that. So just seeing the way price was moving, and then seeing 6:30 open had this major drop, creating that 5-minute fair value gap right there. I wasn't looking for shorts, looking for buys. So from here, I was looking for buys, and then price. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys my first entry, which was kind of I should have been a little more discretionary on it, but it's okay. I'm not tripping because it could have played out. But I thought this was the SMT. If you look at ES was doing something like this. So this was the SMT I thought was the significant first move, and I had an entry I think around right here. Stop was below this low. If I can fucking drag it. All right, right there. We back to it, but seeing that price stop me out right here. So it stopped me out, and then I'm like, okay, but it stopped me out quickly when I seen this sell, this displacement to the downside. I'm like, okay, so obviously that trade was wrong. And then since I waited a little bit more, seeing price stop that one out, and while ES was still moving higher, like, oh wait, what the fuck did I do? ES was still moving higher, creating higher lows, and it was moving in some form like this. I probably can go back and show you guys on ES as well. But this was the significant SMT right here. Bam. Okay, cool. So first trade was a fluke. I took a loss on that. And then I waited a little bit, wait for that stab, seeing this displacement right here, and then seeing price come back down below it. This right here, I entered. It gave me extra confirmation because of this move right here. So this was, it created a 5-minute in fair value gap within this one right here. Well, it really wasn't an IFBG. Well, it was because that was a sell side, but it filled it completely. And then price just, came up, and it was little like probably like 5-10 points away from my target, which was I was looking forward to just run. But it edged the previous daily high, the equal highs, and then I had break even. I put break even because of this high right here, which was not bad, but that was an emotional break even. Seeing how fast price ripped, and I was just trying to protect myself, it was very emotional. So I took break even right here, and then price came back lower, hit me, tapped it, just barely tapped it, no major drawdown, just tapped it a little bit, and then ripped and it ran higher. So I didn't complain about it, but I just changed the rule of my bias structure, where on my evals I'm going to go TP or full stop, or if I'm significantly in profit, I'm talking about like 100 to 150 ticks in profit, then I will go break even. But since I was only probably up like 50 to like 70 ticks, it wasn't even fully all the way there yet. Just no more emotional break even trades or emotional break even in my idea, so that's a new rule that I'm doing on my evals, and just either TP or stop loss. It's an eval, so what can go wrong? It's just evaluation. It's not real money yet. We're not really there to the funnest stage. The funnest stage, you want to be more discretionary. All right, so bet. What was the next trading day? The next trade I think was Thursday. Thursday I banked. The red line is where 6:30 market open at, so, or at least 6 a.m. I didn't take a trade on NQ just because of where this was. I didn't like how this was. Even dropping down to like a 5-minute, 15-minute. I seen it wanted to go higher, of course, but the way price was looking, I was expecting this 15-minute fair value gap to get respected. It did, but it kept trading into it, so it was just in a stuck range. But then again, I took a trade on ES in that same area on that Thursday. Let's go break it down. And my full target was right above at this high, right? A little bit above it. But since we already edged it low ball, and then this was like what's it called? One thing with this trade, I didn't go break even too early. But I did take partials on this trade. So I took partials above this high, and then I put my trailing stop around like right here. So I still netted good profit on this trade. But seeing the way this was looking compared to NQ, I took this way more clean. So going down to a 1 hour. This 1 hour fair value gap line is from right here. Even though we traded through it, right? We traded through it. But seeing that price did this, took out all this trend line liquidity, right? And then came back into this range. So we're still stuck in the range until we have a significant breakout, which Friday did. And then price just, rebalanced a little bit, took its time, dropped down to the 15-minute. There's a 15-minute fair value gap right here, all right here, side of here, plus another 5-minute, right? So, and then price was already stuck like in a tight consolidation, but I like this formation of buys compared to NQ. So, drop down to the 5-minute now. I was very patient with this trade, which gave me like a good idea to hold and be patient with it. And then plus, I didn't want to overcomplicate it on this day, especially where we were at in the markets, because anything could have happened. Because like as soon as it got to close to my TP, it ran to the 80, and it's crazy because I marked this out the quarter level. If you know ICT or you understand where price goes, the 20 to 50, the flat zero number, and the 80. The 80 is one of them quarter levels where price likes to reverse from. So that 5-minute, and then looking at the 1-minute, I'm gonna show you guys all my the screenshots of me taking these trades too. So no downfall, All right, so okay, so now, right, this whole range was a 15-minute fair value gap. I didn't want to draw it up because I already had too many zones on here. This was another 5-minute fair value gap, and then this was another 5-minute. So just seeing price trade up through it, in my mind, it was creating an AMD setup, which is accumulation, manipulation to distribution. Just forming that model. I don't really trade that model, but just forming it, just to manipulate traders and keep everybody stuck in a trap market. So I just waited because 630 was right here. So this trade for me to take took about an hour for me to enter, which isn't fine. So I was just sitting there being patient, and then I seen this displacement from there. Because my bias was neutral. I wasn't stuck on buys or shorts. I was just waiting for price to show me what it wants to do. Seeing this displacement candlestick here, I had a wider stop, which is fine with me, but I had a nice target. So price, came up here. It chopped around a little bit, retraced, chopped around a little bit, retraced, chopped around a little bit, retraced, and then it started expanding higher. I think I took a partial around around right here, somewhere in this area, and let that ride, and then I went break even around here. Well, I not break even, I trailed my stop instead of me going break even. Trailed my stop around here because it didn't get to my full target. I was stuck on, and I was looking at the chart around this 80 level. Like I should have took it when I should have took it because NQ took out the previous daily high and created more all-time highs, and that was the SMT right there for this massive sell-off, as you can see right here. What the fuck? Oh, my bad. Took off this massive sell-off, so that's why that sell-off came, which was fine. I wasn't tripping, still made money, so I didn't have to overtrade in that day. But that was Thursday, so I took 2 trades. I mostly traded NQ and ES. I had one win on the week with NQ, one win on the one win on the week with ES, and I had two losses on NQ. So I showed y'all that first loss, which could have resultantly ended up being a profitable day. And then Friday, I honestly should have took Friday off. I feel like Friday I forced the trade, but my bias was correct. This price was very indecisive, and a lot of people wanted to see shorts to fill in a daily open next the new openly daily gap. But I didn't see it, so unfortunately, I didn't take it. I was looking for buys, but just looking for this whole area. This was the 15-minute Ferrari gap, and I think the closer area was like somewhere right here, and yeah, 6:30 open was around right here, right? So just patiently waiting for price to create some displacement. I seen this first one. I could have took that one, but I waited for more extra confirmation. I took this one. And one thing I recognize in my trades, if it stalls around my entry for too long, like when I mean too long, more than 10 to 15 minutes, it might be a bad trade, which is fine. Or it might just really like be stuck in a consolidation range, and I might just be stuck in a trap move, which ironically I was. I was stuck in a trap move. So not beat myself up about it, but ideally I was still profitable at the end of the week. But seeing that, and then price ran lower, and then I was looking at ES at the same time. ES was just stuck, like it didn't want to do too much, which like kind of pissed me off. It was like just stuck around the area. You can see right here, it was just stuck, creating like just stuck in the range. And then ES is the same thing. It dropped lower from this H1 for value gap, and then expanded higher. So didn't take a trade on ES, but I took a loss on NQ. So that was the week, and then plus this previous daily high. That's what I should have been paying attention more to. Price wanted to retest it and then trade from it within this H1 for value gap. Ironically, if I was looking for a move to take on this is why I said I should never lowball trade it this day, because there's really not a move. We're just stuck inside of a consolidation model. So I honestly should never trade it that Friday, but you live and you learn. It's an eval, I'm not tripping. It's more about building discretionary ideas and selecting. Now, the best trade from this area would have probably been something like right here from this 3-minute gap, since we hit that 1 hour level. If price would have came back down, but honestly it didn't come back down into it. So I would have waited for something like this. It didn't target those highs, but it didn't do that, which is fine. Prices ran from this level. So wasn't tripping, wasn't too bad. But that was the end of the week. So just a little brief introduction of my recap on my trades this week. We gonna lock this in, my boy. I'm documenting my shit. I'm not trying to, put myself in a box, because I know I can do this. And trading is very it's very mind opening. It's build your self development at the same time of you winning, losing, making money. Just you have to have a strong conviction in trading. This is why not everybody. This is my biggest saying. I say trading is for anybody, but it's not for everybody. Because if you come into the game to get rich, you're going to fail, bro, and you got to embrace that failure. I've been trading for almost 7 years. 6 years with Forex. I made money, lost money, passed evals, got a couple payouts. That's cool, but I'm trying to be consistent with it now, and then eventually, I can break out this fake matrix we live in and create my own reality. Start my clothing brand. Just do little things where I can venture out, and just take it to another level. But yeah, so I'm gonna watch you guys document this journey with me. So whenever I do post a payout, I'll show you the payout. I'll be like, you guys seen the back end of what I was doing, and not just me coming out, oh, I just made some money. No, I'm showing you guys the ins and outs, the ugly, the ups and downs, everything. Just being transparent as possible, because this industry is very selective with transparency. And my goal is not to teach, but just to educate. I don't want to make a course. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that right now. And honestly, I really don't even want to do that down the line, because this shit right here is really like built in with yourself. I can give you the keys to the blueprint, but are you going to really develop it on your own? Are you going to really sit back and back test? Are you really going to sit back in journal? Are you really going to sit in these charts, read or take notes? Do everything you're supposed to do. But some people don't really do that. So, one thing I wanted to do too as well. Show you guys my trades. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys the ins and outs of what I took and why I took them. So we start off with Tuesday. I told you I took longs. You guys can see here that 5-minute fair value gap. I was already in with this displacement candlestick, as you can see. So I was down a little bit of ticks. Just waited, and then see, price came back into it. So which gave me more selective process on taking it. And I think after price ran this high, I moved my stop towards that low, just to protect my profit some more and minimize my risk. So we're inside this 5-minute inversion fair value gap, which is fine. I like to stop below this low. This was the daily buy side all-time highs. It in pre-market took it out. So I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do then? But one thing I recognize learning from other people, all-time highs, bro, just really target 1-to-1s, not even 1-to-2s, 1-to-1s to hit your base hits, and trade from fair value gaps, honestly. And just wait for the market. If you want to see a sell side, you want to wait for trend line liquidity or something like that. Which I had this level right here marked out for a trend line liquidity, but price didn't want to retrace to another 5-minute for me to target that low. So wasn't too bad on it, but you see, I moved stops a little bit higher. I was in profit right here. Yeah, so we just let it ride and just let it play out. As you can see, we're still in. I went break even right here. This was before I went break even on that day, which I should have never went break even. Now on a funded account, yes, I'm going break even right here automatically. Don't care, because it's best you have that funded account, like playing more defense, and letting the offense play for you, if that makes sense. Defense, me talking about protecting your equity curve or protecting the money that you got at risk. And this was me protecting it, but on the eval. So price was still up. I trailed my stop some more. Just let price run since it broke that high, and was just waiting for it to selectively show me that it wants to keep going higher towards this area, which it did. So I think the end of it, I took profit right around. I think I showed it too. Yeah. So you see that first trade I took on that Tuesday, I took a loss. Was this Tuesday or this was Wednesday? Oh, it was Tuesday. I think I took a what's it called, a short loss. That's why I said 14 trades. I forgot about that one. Yeah, I did. Forgot about that one. But covered that loss with a massive win, so I can't complain. But took that, and then since we already tapped out, we was edging that high. I wasn't expecting us to get back to the next high, which I wanted it to get to, but unfortunately we didn't get there. So just been patient selectively and made some money that day. Wednesday, let's go to the data and show you guys the ins and outs. I journal everything. I don't care if I'm losing, if I'm in a profitable trade, just journaling, and it's to go back and see this in real time. So it's not like I'm faking a funk. But this was the trade that I took. You see that S&T right there. Sell stop 2 contracts, looking to target that high. The 5-minute, it was very stuck in a range where I was like, damn, what the fuck. But the reason why I said in this trade, because its H1 level looked real clean. We was already trading higher, and then if you trade order blocks or whatnot, you can see this order block. But I don't really trade order blocks now. Only on futures I don't. But Forex, if I was trade Forex, I would use order block, just in certain scenarios. But it was creating an order block and then making this a propulsion block, ICT concepts, inside this H1 fair value gap. So if I was comfortable taking this trade, even if we go lower, so this move would have been a fake out, basically. But you see these equal highs is why I wanted to take this to that high in Q. And it ran there. But my stupid ass went break even And this was an emotional break even, because as you can see, there was really no significance for me to go break even here. I should have went break even here above this high. But you know, not tripping, not the end of the world. But just now, from my understanding, I'm going to either protect my stops a little more tighter. If we could run like this, I'll just move my stops a little more tighter instead of me going break even, you know, so I can minimize my risk on that trade idea. As you can see right here, I said break even. TP is in, bro. Damn. Took 2 trades, 1 early loss, and then price created this. So I was like, on to the next day. Unfortunately. All right, now ES longs. I told you I waited a little bit. I waited a minute, to be honest. Price was in here. Put my stops below this low inside that 5-minute fair rate gap from the H1 level. Seen this displacement candlestick and took an entry. Took a stab at it. Just took a stab at it. And then price just ran. And you see this wick right here. This is the reason why I have my stop below this low too, because the 50 level. Price likes to reverse from that level. It's the quarter level. I said 5-minute looks good. As you can see, we're creating more higher lows and higher highs. No, higher lows and lower highs, which is fine. So higher lows and lower highs. I got that fucked up, messed up. But price is obviously bullish in this scenario. Yeah. And then when we got to this level, I think I took a partial here. Yeah, see, as you can see right here. I had 3 contracts in it. I think I took 1 or 2 cons. I might have took 2 cons right here, which was fine with me. Wasn't tripping. Just wanted to stay profitable and stay locked in the game. Because this was a higher target for me to just go for. Because normally I go for 1-on-1s on the eval phase, just to get the shit done, you know. But what was keeping me out, because I probably would have been halfway there, not even halfway there, because I'm halfway there now, but I would have been like 2 trades away from passing them if I didn't go break even. Because even a week before, I took a break even trade on that Friday, which was a good massive day. So yeah, I took 2 cons right there. Now price is just ripping with 1 contract left, so which is fine. Just let the rest ride, and you know, you guys see the back data of what I'm taking in real time of the trade. So yeah, then I'll go back over here, see if I can show you guys when I took profit. Yeah, so price came back up here, it hit the A level. I had break even. I mean, shrugged, my stops were around here somewhere, and rip. I was on the road, so I couldn't get no screenshot on my computer, and price just sold off. Now last Friday, I took a long on this NQ position. Yeah, stopped below this low, displacement. I should have never just traded it, because I feel like we were stuck in the trap move, and price unfortunately took me out. We was moving nicely, but this area just started stalling some more. So I'm like, damn, why are we stalling? Which kind of unfortunately failed. But yeah, so just showing you guys the ins and outs of my trading strategy, what I'm doing, what I'm building behind the scenes. Let's get it. Roll to 10 to 20k months. 2026 we going up from here. Then eventually we're gonna scale higher. Probably add some Apex accounts to the list. 50k accounts. Let's do it, you know, why not? And then that will be significantly bigger, going for $1,000 or $1,500. You do the math. They pay you 100% profit split, so 1,500 times 20, 30 G's. That's good money. But instead of me focusing on the money, you gotta focus on the trades, your process, control your emotions, control your risk, and you know, everything else gonna come to fruition. So, but if you're a trader, if you want to get interested in this shit, just subscribe, keep watching, man. Comment if you want to. Yeah, because I'm gonna drop a lot more content. You guys gonna see the lifestyle eventually, and I'm gonna stay focused and disciplined. Peace.